Hey, what's up, all? How's it going? And welcome to another special episode of what is this? Blow on this. little dust in it, never. It helps build character, doesn't it? Something like that.
Something. I'm not sure what yet.
Yeah, whatever. One of those things. Anyways, if you haven't tuned in before, if this is your first time seeing these, of course, to my right is good old OMD.
OMD.
And we're not talking about the D down there.
That's more like a OMD.
You said it, not me.
Self-deprecating. Don't worry about it.
And, of course, my name's Jamie. So welcome to the latest special episode, which we are diving into the whole Sony press conference. We are going to talk about and spoil everything that they've, basically.
That they all just talked about.
Yeah. Yes, exactly.
So if you weren't paying attention, pay attention now.
Yeah. So before we dive into it, what was your first impression what was your impression of the whole thing? I mean, not first impression, but
seeing as I haven't played PlayStation for a little while, I wasn't sure what to expect, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
I've been an Xboxer for the last few years.
Yeah.
And I was like, I want to see what they, I want to see what they come up with.
Yeah.
And the presentation was certainly different than what Xbox did yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
So,
yeah,
and that's what you want. You want something completely different.
Yeah, exactly.
You don't want everything to be cookie cutter.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Yeah,
I think that they right from the get go you could tell they're having some sound issues, but they seem to hash those out pretty quick. So.
Yeah, and it was sound issues with our end, in a sense. It wasn't in the theater itself. They had the sound just fine. Yeah. You could hear it. So,
well, you could hear the audio, but it was like it was a translation between their. I'm not sure where the sound was, but it was weird.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly.
Well,
somewhere in there, it was just
man,
something.
That was cool.
They finally got it. After the first couple games, that we kind of missed a little bit, but whatever. It is what it is.
Yeah, it happens.
I enjoyed it. I thought they came directly to the point. It was very, like they said, fast-paced. It was enjoyable. All the games were big-name games. They didn't, sit there and like, oh, we have to show this game or we have to show that game. No.
Yeah, there wasn't a lot of indie at all.
Yeah, I love indie games, but I don't need to see the indie games on there. I will go look at those on my own time. When I'm here for these big conference, I want to see the big dogs there.
I want to see your big name, big. Oh yeah.
Exactly. So, and that's what we got. This whole press conference was the big dogs. The first party, studios and all the great little things that we got to see throughout it. Of course, they started off with the big guns. They dropped the big guns right from the beginning, and of course they ended with even more big guns towards the end. But we get to see Uncharted: The Lost Legacy. Your eyes are better than me, I think.
What? 3 that's what I want to see.
Yeah, exactly. No, it's exactly to the point, Leo. I mean, thanks for tuning in, definitely. But yeah, that's what we want to see. We want to see the big stuff. They finally are learning with these press conferences. Show us the brief stuff. I know it's a little disappointing that most of it isn't gameplay, but I'm fine with that. I will go, if I really want to see a game, I will go to Twitch. I will go to YouTube. I will go to Facebook. I will go to wherever I need to go to watch that gameplay.
Yeah, because as your conference, you're going, hey, here's what we got, and we got a lot of stuff to show you. So
exactly.
They're going to show you some gameplay, but they're going to run right through it, and that's what they're looking for.
And that's basically what we saw was all these things. I mean, Uncharted Lost Legacy looks incredible. And basically, you were talking about when we were watching it about Drake not being in it. The one thing with Uncharted that a lot of people and a lot of these games, they don't realize that it was basically these were built for expansions in a sense to other characters.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
So many people have
Because
been used to
they've
Drake.
introduced so many.
Yeah.
They've introduced so many good characters in their game. Sure.
Yeah.
And like I said before, is that I was so used to seeing Drake, and I was a little confused. I was like, well, "There's no Drake." That's to me. I'm going of the Uncharted I've played. I was expecting Drake, and they completely just from what I saw, there is no Drake. There's no Sully. I was like, wow.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. We might see glimpses or something, but Drake's story's over with. Leo, real quick to answer your question, for our favorite, mine hands down was Spider-Man. What was yours?
COD.
Go figure. Knew that one.
I think ever since I was like,
which one was that? Yeah. So
there was a couple of ones that looked pretty cool, but Call of Duty, they're going back to their roots. I was like, that's cool.
But Uncharted, I mean, it drops in August, from my understanding, which I'm definitely gonna go pick it up. I've played all 4 Uncharted so far. Drake's story's over. We finally get to see other characters move into it. We get to see other worlds. Parts of the world and stuff like that. We get to see a lot of other good stuff with it. So I'm definitely I'm excited for it. I am definitely excited. I don't know if it's a full-blown game or if it's going to be like a $40 game or $50 game. I don't know. I'm not sure.
I think they'll go full-blown.
That's what
I think
thinking.
They'll go full-blown.
But it's a little surprising because it's only a year and a half after the last Uncharted.
Yeah,
that's kind of
it doesn't
unusual.
look like it doesn't seem like DLC. It seems like
If you think what's some of the ones that have been that we've seen recently that they put out those standalone ones like Second Son for Infamous.
Mm-hmm.
They did a bonus like DLC game to it. But it was a whole game that was technically, its own, but it was a DLC in a sense too.
Correct.
So,
but they made it big enough that it was a game. It was a full blown game, and I don't remember what they charged for that. So
I think it was like $30 or $40 or something.
Yeah,
like that.
so
it was definitely less.
It wasn't the huge game that the original was, but it was still enough game that it was worth the money.
Yeah. So I really feel that it's going to be that way. Girl saying hello.
About time she finds us.
What's up? So then we move on to a game that's actually been out, and I'm still playing through it right now. Horizon Zero Dawn. Beautiful, gorgeous game. I mean, it's made by Guerrilla Games, which they're the makers of Killzone. They're the ones, they started Killzone way back in
Killzone.
the day.
Yeah,
they've
sure.
3 of them. I think they've had 3 different Killzones now, I believe.
And of course, my note all I wrote was, "Is it DLC or is it standalone again?"
Yeah.
I was like, "Is this DLC? Is this DLC for Horizon Zero Dawn, or is this going to be a standalone game on its own?" I wasn't sure.
Yeah. Well, this one's going to be.
We knew that.
Yeah.
We tried fixing it. It's just
his voice doesn't carry enough, Allison. Sorry.
We'll keep trying.
Yeah. No, this one is a full blown DLC. So this is going to be add on. This is going to be something where you're going to have the game to get it. Because the reason why the one for Uncharted, The Lost Legacy, is similar to a DLC, but it's not technically a DLC, is because it's coming out a year and a half later. They've spent their time. People have already maybe sold their games. They've done something with it. Who knows? This one, Horizon Zero Dawn, just came out, less than 3 months ago. Or right about 3 months, I think.
Right.
Something like that. So this is within the first year of the cycle, so it's going to be, it's actual DLC content.
DLC. Sure.
Yeah. I don't know what it's going to be for price or anything like that, but I need to beat the game because I want to play that too. Because it's such a fun game. I mean,
that's a downside to being a gamer that has to work. You just don't have time.
Well, it's even that. If you don't have all the consoles and all that stuff, yeah. Which
go broken a heartbeat.
Yeah, no kidding. Well, yeah, you're telling me.
All right, be on Colfax again.
Then we move into Days Gone.
Yeah. All I wrote was another zombie game. ...
It is a zombie game. It's more of a Left 4 Dead style in that sense
Oh,
of
yeah.
like the hordes coming at
You
you.
got to run your little happy little ass off. There is no stealth. There is no,
Yeah.
you can't play stealth in that. You got to run your little ass off and hope for the best. Now, mind you, they show a little bit of stealth options in it. But it looks like it's going to be, you're going to be tactical. You have to be tactical, otherwise you're hosed.
Yeah, it looks interesting. You and
Colfax.
Nice. He's been talking about it. He's been a little tempted to go back and start working his corner again. So
gotta make some money. $20 is $20.
Because sure as hell I'm not paying him for that. I got Sorry, dude. I love you, but
Oh, I gotta go.
Maybe $10.
Oh, well, in that case, what? Yeah, anyways.
So Days Gone. We actually got to see gameplay. Which means it's definitely closer in development than where we get with the actual, just a trailer, the
Correct.
souped up CGI type trailer.
Hi, Kurt.
It's made by Sony Bend, which I believe Sony Bend's the one that made SOCOM. I believe the SOCOM series back in the day.
I'd have to go look on that one.
From what I remember, they are. What's up, Kurt? Welcome to the stream. Sony Bend is producing it. We got to see some pretty cool gameplay, some the interactive ways of doing different things and getting around things, but we also saw a zombie bear.
Yeah.
A zombie
I was like, dude, a zombie bear. Oh, man.
That was sick. I mean, I was like, yes, I am instantly right there. I just bought the game.
Okay, you tapped me into it.
It's like, pre-ordered.
Yeah, I was actually really. I liked how they use. You kind of use your environment. They really used your environment. He used traps and he used. Just kind of used the environment to get himself around.
Mm-hmm.
Kurt, since you're late, Kurt.
we basically told our games that kind of most stood out. Now, of course, mine was Spider-Man. I mean, sounds too cute. Yeah, he wasn't cute. You'll Dale will have to show you the video of it.
You will have to see a zombie bear. It's not as cute as you think.
But Spider-Man stood out for me, and of course,
Call of Duty.
Yeah,
he's
a Call of Duty
roots.
fan. Yeah, but we'll dive into those here in a second as we get through more of it. We're actually coming up to some of them.
Keep your shorts on. We're getting there.
Stay tuned. We're going to be definitely diving into it. Next up, after the zombie bear, and we saw that, that's kind of where they stopped. They moved on to another game that it's got a very big following, and it was like, okay, at first had no clue because I've never played the series. You haven't heard of the series.
It wasn't familiar to me at all. I was like, Monster.
Yeah.
I've never heard of it.
Yeah. So
you think a gamer would, but there's so many games out there that.
Yeah. But it's the Monster Hunter world, which, from what I remember, Monster Hunter was more of a Nintendo style game. That's where you see a lot of the Monster Hunters. I don't remember seeing it on other consoles, so I think this is not a first, but it's very rare to see it leave the Nintendo world. It looks interesting. I'm not going to lie. I mean, it's a JRPG style game.
Mm-hmm. Which I know you're a little on JRPGs.
It depends, yeah. I mean, Final Fantasy, yes, I like Final Fantasy, but some of them, But this one looks different. I mean, what stood out to you?
They're changing up pace. We'll see. We'll see what happens.
What stood out to you about the game?
I don't know. I think realistically, it reminded me of. Now, mind you, I've had a friend of mine playing Ark, the whatever the hell it is.
Survival
It reminded me a
Evolved.
little. Yeah, it reminded me a little bit of that, just on some of the aspects of it.
Yeah.
But boy, they really, they make those monsters cranky.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And it's some cool stuff that you're like, whoa, hello.
That T-Rex where his nose flared up.
You're like, okay, something's wrong with that T-Rex.
Yeah, he's pissed off.
Crap.
It's like, what the hell? And if
T-Rex been living near Chernobyl.
yeah, no kidding. And if you're tuning in right now, and if you haven't yet, please share this on your feed. Let other people, if they're interested in hearing what our thoughts are, which I'm not usually really even interested in my own thoughts. Don't know why anyone else would be. No, I'm just kidding.
Well, it's like this.
Yeah. But yeah, please share it. Give us a share. So we can get more people in here. Hopefully be doing this more often now. We'll see.
Yep.
What was up next after that, Dale?
Shadow of Colossus. That's what I show on my board.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And we sat there looking at it going, is this a remake or is this a new game? And I'm not sure.
I don't know either.
The graphics looked sick.
Yeah. I mean, it looked gorgeous. It didn't say remastered or remake.
This is true.
So that's, to me, believing.
But they also didn't give it a secondary title either. They didn't say Shadow Colossus 2 or Shadow Colossus The Lost World or Shadow Colossus
But that
was just Shadow Colossus.
Doesn't mean much because God of War.
Yeah.
We've already had a God of War.
True.
And it didn't have a special name with it. So you never know.
Only time will tell.
2018 is when it releases. And I did play the Last Guardian, which was, I don't know if it's the same studio doing it, but Last Guardian was made by the same studio that did the original, plus I can't think of the name. There was another one. They made 2 big games before that, and I think it was PS2 days, and I can't remember.
We're 2 consoles past now.
Yeah. I can't remember. It was another big style game, more of a story and, seeing everything out there, like just the environments and stuff that.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then, of course, we follow up with some with the fighting game, which it was the only fighting game they showed. And
it lost my interest almost immediately. Simply because it's a fighting game, not my style of gaming.
Yeah.
The graphics look good.
Yeah. Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite, which Infinite leads me to believe, which they talked about it, the Infinity Stones, which the whole, what we see now with the Marvel Universe, the MCU and Thanos and what's coming up with the, Infinity Gauntlet movie coming up and everything, that is,
they're trying to go big.
That's kind of a similar story. But this is a cross between, you've got, of course, all your Marvel characters. You've got Guardians of the Galaxy jumping into this one. No X-Men, so no mutants in it, if you watch.
I didn't see that. Now that you mentioned it, you're right. I didn't see that at all. It was very much kind of your basis, Yeah.
Yeah.
You're very right.
Exactly.
Yeah. And when you rat, you rat.
Which, is expected because of just the way properties are working and all that between, we won't get into all that between Sony and, Microsoft, Sony and Marvel. But it looks, then you've got the characters from Capcom, you've got your Street Fighter characters, you've got Mega Man, you've got all these big names from throughout their history. So it's an interesting thing. I wouldn't mind watching it.
See some gameplay?
Yeah, to see actual gameplay. I wouldn't buy it and play it though myself.
I'm not. But again, I'm not a fighting game.
Neither am I.
Have
really.
been.
Unless it's like Smash Brothers.
I wasn't into button mashing. I was just like, look, let me do this stealthily and slowly, and I'm a happy camper.
Exactly. It comes out September 19th, and you can download the demo today. And the story mode demo, though.
I thought was interesting.
Which is
interesting.
interesting.
Story mode demo.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. So, which we saw kind of briefly with Thanos and Ultron in there, Ultron was kind of a mix between, it looked like something from Smash Brothers. Oh, love me some Smash Brothers. Love me some Smash Brothers.
She's a big Smash Brothers player too.
Yes, that is on the horizon for the Switch. So I'm excited for when that drops. Probably not a year or two before that comes, but we'll see tomorrow morning with the Nintendo press conference.
Yep, see what they pull out.
But what was next?
Call of Duty.
Yes.
And I'm excited to see they've gone back to their roots. So that was a lot of big talk. One of the guys I work with, he's been super excited about it. He's been checking out gameplay stuff on this thing for or just trailers and stuff on it for probably last couple months.
Well, it's
looking for
been
everything.
they dropped the first one. It was about a month and a half ago.
Yeah, and he's been checking it out.
Yeah.
Because he's just like, oh, this looks so cool. This looks so cool. Monkey's your son.
Okay, nice.
Yeah, you confused him there for a second there, Trina.
I'm like, Monkey.
Who's
like, what?
Monkey? Yeah,
I was like,
Monkey's
is that Dale's nickname?
Nope, that's her kiddo.
Be like, no, it's. Wait, what? OMD?
But yeah, it looks like they're really going back to the roots on the Call of Duty. It looks, because a lot of people were complaining about the futuristic style, and you can't wall run and you can't.
Yeah.
And they've really gone back to the roots of it, and it looks really good. It looks really good. So
yeah. It's like I said when we were watching it. I definitely don't mind seeing, like playing the story on it, because I think the story would be fun.
The story,
multiplayer.
If it's a co-op story, that's usually fun too.
Yeah,
that's the only way to the only way to find out, because I like the co-op. I like co-op story modes. Those are fun.
But I don't know. We'll see when it drops November 3rd. So it's a big time of the year for games. That's always October, November. I think is going to be a very
before Christmas,
busy.
kids.
Yeah.
Start saving your
I
bucks.
know. That might be something I might wait and see if they put on a little bit of a discount for some Black Friday.
Oh yeah.
So I don't know. We'll see. We will see. That might be a good idea to do. If I pick it up, we'll see. But we know everyone. The funny thing is, everyone's like they're like, oh, they're doing this to combat against Battlefield, and I'm like, okay, Battlefield came out last year. Okay, cool. The end of the year. They announced it the year before. This Call of Duty has been in development for 3 years. How does that work? Did they magically go into the future?
It was preemptive.
Yeah, exactly. No, they had no clue that Battlefield was going to be that way. No clue. So, whatever.
Then we got into
PSVR, which
I'm not so sure about the headset. Like, that just seems bulky.
Yeah,
that's just me. But it does, based on what as I saw more pictures of it, more, I was like, well, they're really set up to be comfortable on your head as you play.
Yeah, it was comfortable because I've actually played it. I've done it. I played what is it? Eve Valkyrie, which is based off of the Eve online universe. I think it was Valkyrie is called, or something like that. I could be wrong. And then also what was the other one? I played Resident Evil 7, which I didn't even come across any zombies or anything or monsters or anything, and it scared the living shit out of me. It truly did. As
Resident Evil tends to do.
I mean, it was because you're looking around the corner. You've got the controller in your hand, but you have to turn corners like you're actually looking in a house. And I'm like,
waiting for something to happen,
cowering in the corner, like shaking, balled up, rocking back and forth. You
are not on my zombie apocalypse team. That's all there is to it.
Like, you're not helping yourself out at all, at all. So it's not as bad as you think. Looks are deceiving. Think of it this way, though. Did I jump a few times?
Did you jump a few times?
Yeah, I did. Well, I kept myself from jumping because it's a very expensive headset, and I didn't feel like buying one. So, but I might have had to go chase my underwear afterwards. I mean,
bring me my brown pants.
Exactly. No. With it, think of it this way. Remember the original VRs, way back in the day. You had the big round thing around you, and it was that big heavy set, and the cords. Way better.
They slimmed it down quite a bit.
Yes, huge difference. So
This is true.
It's
they're figuring out how to make technology smaller and smaller.
Mm-hmm. It's out of the three big names out there, because you've got the HTC Vive and the Oculus Rift as the other two. This is the lower end of all of them, but you can run it on my PS4 can run it. I don't need a Pro to run it.
Oh, nice.
Where the Oculus Rift needs not a high powered, like I might be able to push my current computer to do it. But the HTC 5, you need a very, very
higher end computing system.
Everybody just told you to text you sometime.
We'll get on it eventually.
Yeah. So there's a lot of different games that they announced. I'm fine with smaller games for VR. I don't want a big experience just because the fact you've got a headset on, you're in a virtual reality, you're moving around, you're doing a lot more stuff. I don't want to spend 5 hours at a time. Like I can do that easily on my couch.
And the first one they showed was Skyrim. I'm like, man,
it's like, what the
that's gonna kick your ass.
What the fuck is like? I mean, because we've got which
I understand you want you want to be an immersive world, but holy crap!
Which we've got. They showed last night on Bethesda's conference, which we'll talk about this Saturday. So tune in this Saturday night. We will be doing the final recap of the other press conferences, and everything. So I won't dive into it.
Told me about that before because.
Didn't I tell you? I thought I told you.
I've slept since then. I don't remember. We'll look at calendars and figure it out.
I thought I told you. Anyways, it is on the calendar.
I'm sure it is. I
did put it on there.
I haven't looked recently
because I've got that shared calendar.
Yes, because everything's changed. Any hooch.
Anyways, so no, they did show Fallout 4, like the full blown game, and they showed a Doom VR. Doom VR is a little different, I believe, but we'll dive into those later. But yeah, that's the same thing. Like Skyrim VR is a massive game. Like
that's gonna take a lot.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't know, dude. I just don't know.
Don't get me wrong. I'm gonna go buy Skyrim when it comes out on the Nintendo Switch. I take Skyrim wherever I want. You know, I can sit there during my lunch and play Skyrim, but I don't want to play it in VR for 5 hours at a time. I'll play it on my Switch for 5 hours at a time. Girlfriend will get pissed off, but
yeah, but at least you know when if you're doing that, you can still kind of look at her from time to time. You're in VR,
yeah. I could be on the couch next to her while she's watching her shows. So
watching her stories. I mean,
anyways.
Hi, Allison.
Then we moved into it was smaller titles. After that, we had Star Child, which was a side-scrolling type game.
It seemed side-scrolling, and I was trying to figure out. I was like, it didn't really ring VR to me. Yeah. And I was like, this doesn't just a style of play. I'm like, if you're doing VR, they're wanting to immerse you in it. And watching what I saw, I was like, it just don't look VR to me.
What I always say, though, is those are always trailers. They try and show so much with the trailers. Oh, sure. So it's not really showing you that. That's why you want to wait for gameplay. I mean, gameplay is what, you wait for it. Don't ever trust a trailer. It gives you the one feeling, and it's a lot of false hopes. What was it? What was the...
Boo, they didn't show any sports games.
You missed the EA press conference, Well, you were there. You were just sitting behind it when we were showing it on Saturday. So that's where all the sports games are. Yeah. I told her, me and her, we're going to jump into some FIFA. So,
oh yeah,
I got FIFA 17 sitting right here, right somewhere here.
Somewhere.
Pointing somewhere.
Once they got past Star Child, they got into another one, which actually looks kind of fascinating to me in a sense.
Yeah.
I joked it was almost like, One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, the way it was just presented. Mm-hmm. I was like, well, interesting. Mm-hmm. Inpatient, what do they call it? The Inpatient.
Yeah.
It looks horror-ish. I don't know if it's quite horror, but more of a
thriller.
It's dark. It's definitely darker.
Yeah, like a thriller style in a sense, suspense.
But that would be. I think that would be a cool one in VR. Yeah. I think that would be a cool one in VR. So it's simply because it's smaller and whatnot.
Yeah. The new man has the goat on it. Yes. Tom Brady. Oh, I'm looking. I see my Tom Brady jersey right there.
I was trying to be quiet about that.
I see it right there. I'm looking at Tom Brady's right there. Yes. Anyways, yeah, it looks like it's scary. If I do get a VR, which I do want to get the PSVR, I really do, because I want to be able to play some of these games and see what it's like,
Right.
especially as they're improving them, making them better. Good man. Yep. See.
Yeah, he's a Massachusetts boy.
I won't lie. Broncos are my first team, but Patriots are my second. So I am a Patriots fan through and through. Always will be. Always have been. So
It's a rough day for him when the Bronx and Pats play.
Yeah, I beat myself up a lot. So, anyways, yeah, it looks. I really would love to try some of these games out.
Oh, sure.
Especially if they stay in like the $20 to $30 range.
If they're reasonable,
Yeah.
sure. If they get excessive, it's like, you know what,
Yeah.
it's not even, because not only do you have to buy this VR, but you're buying,
Yeah.
you'll price me out of the market in a hurry.
Exactly. Then we moved into Final Fantasy 15, and that comes out in September. It's Monsters of the Deep. It's called.
And that looks, from what I don't. It's not a full game for sure.
Oh no, definitely not.
That's
Definitely not, yeah.
portions of stuff, and they kind of showed some of the fishing aspect of it,
Yeah.
which okay,
Yeah.
Bass Pro 2, let's go fishing.
Well, think of it. There is a cooking element to the actual game. I don't know if you played it yet, but
I got about 2 minutes into it. I really haven't done anything with it yet.
Kurt, that was
was
we talked about that yesterday for sure, dude. That was yeah, it does have a cooking element in a sense to it. I'm fine with fishing in VR because you are giving, it is like you're actually fishing.
Correct.
So stuff like that where you're
Correct.
getting yourself involved with it. Yes, I am perfectly fine with that.
That's not a game. Again,
Yeah.
not one of those games you don't want to play the entire game
Yeah.
in VR because God Almighty.
Oh, hell no. Hell no. I mean, yeah, that would be brutal. Definitely brutal. What did we move into, which I know this would be a game you would be.
What was it? After that was what? Bravo Team?
Yes.
That one they didn't show a lot of. That was a quick blip on that one.
Mm-hmm.
That was a quick blip.
Yeah.
And again, that was still VR, was it not?
Yes, that was still VR. So we still got that one more before we move back.
That one looked, that's your modern era special troops.
Yeah. It's
think it'd be
similar.
cool.
Bravo team, you got your different teams and military stuff like that,
Which, you put me in a,
Yeah.
VR, hand me a gun, I'm going to have some fun.
I'm down for a first person shooter VR. I am down for that.
I'm gonna pot shot some motherfuckers. That's all I'm saying.
There's a game, and I'm drawing a blank, that they just dropped, and it actually came out with a hookup, which it would be cool if I could use. I have the motion controllers that they have with the little globes at the end. Those you can use from the PS3. They're the same ones. You can use them. Okay. So luckily I kept mine, which is great. Which was smart. But I originally bought, it was Killzone 3, I think, when it came out.
Okay.
And it was with motion controls, and you could put the motion controls in this gun, and actually, you could cock it and everything like that.
And that's what I'm looking for.
And
Something that's going to put you in that, you really want to get that realistic feel.
It was sweet, but to a point, it was almost overdoing it, because you want the realistic feel, but you also want to you've got everything else going on.
Correct.
So there's a lot happening. Correct. So, hey, we'll see how it goes. Who knows? But the game that they just dropped there was another type gun. It's a little bit different. It's kind of, I don't know. It's like a triangle, like it was weird, but
reminiscent of, what the hell? Never mind. Yeah. Reminiscent of a game we played back in the day. That's all I'm saying.
But it got really, really good reviews. So it's one of those that, would be like a must pick up for the PSVR whenever I get it. But it's I need to get the newer camera. I have the original PS camera, which I don't know if it works quite as well which kind of pissed me off because I bought it not too long ago, and I'm like, oh, and then you're coming out with a brand new camera to use for VR. Really? Anyways, final game for VR was Moss.
It looks cute.
Yeah, it's a cute game.
Cute.
Yeah, you're a mouse. In it. Yeah, it's. I wrote down mouse game. You're a little mouse. And
see, I wrote mice.
Yeah. Something similar to the Matrix, where you can enter the game, but
minus the thing on the head.
Minus the thing. Yeah. That would be sick. That would be sick. Which there was a press conference last night. Well, kind of a weird press conference. It was by this smaller indie developer called Digital Devolver. Devolver Digital, I think. I'm trying to blank. Is it back? I was getting it wrong last night, and I don't know why. I've played them. Like, I think they did Hotline Miami and games like that. Some weird ones. Devolver Digital. That's it. I'm getting it backwards. And they did something like that where it would suck you into the computer screen. It was interesting. Like you are sucking money into it, but it's same concept. Right. But yeah, that would be sick with like VR or something. I'd definitely be down with that.
Make another Matrix game.
I'm
not sure what they could do with it though.
They might. They're making we don't want to get too off topic, but they are making a Matrix movie, and they're rebooting it. Not rebooting it. I don't know exactly if it's a reboot, whatever.
Reboot?
Yeah, I'm not sure, but they're making another Matrix movie, so who knows? Maybe we still see a Matrix game.
Now, admittedly, going back to Moss here.
Yeah,
it looks cute, and then the very last thing you see in that thing was a big ass snake.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm like, he's fucked.
Yeah, he is dead. But he was like a little adventure. He kind of reminded me of, was it Tom and Jerry? And there was one episode that they did where they were in kind of the old, Three Musketeers one, and you had the not only Jerry, but it had the white mouse.
Yes.
Like he was speaking French.
Right.
In it,
and
he was
has a little sword.
Yeah,
it was really cute.
Yeah, so that kind of reminded me of him.
Yes.
I remember that. That was. But onto the big games that they finished up with.
Once they finished up with their VR, they went on to here's the big ones coming.
Yeah. Here's round 2 of the big games. But first, please, if you're watching now and you haven't shared it yet, please share this with your friends. If they want to come hear us jab on a little bit about PlayStation 4 and all that stuff, which I'm really surprised. You're definitely a lot more into it. So we might.
I was a PS gamer for a lot of years. I just haven't played in a while.
Yeah. So you might have to.
It's been a minute.
Yeah. Maybe tax time next year.
Perhaps
PlayStation system.
We'll see.
There you go. Maybe. Anyways, God of War. God of War. I can't tell you how excited I am for this game, because not only have I played all of them except for the prequel one that they did, which was God of War Ascension or something like that. Which
Ascension sounds right.
Something like that, but it never really everything I saw about it really didn't pull me in, and it got very bad reviews. It was I don't think it was made by the same developer. It was made by another smaller studio, so it never was huge.
Not as big as it could have been.
But yes, it was. I'm excited. This isn't the Greek mythology anymore. They've moved into more of the Norse mythology. So Viking stuff like that. So it's a very different style game. I mean, we see him with his son in it.
Yeah, as if he's training.
Mm-hmm.
Hey.
Yeah. And he's got some kind of like axe that's like a boomerang. In a sense, it always comes back.
Whatever this thing was just brutal.
Yeah, it always came back. I mean, it was weird. But
a homing axe? That's
in a sense, yeah. I mean, like some magical powers. I mean, this is very. I mean, it like I said, Norse mythology, so it's going to be definitely different than what we've seen with the Greek mythology. You know, and we see the trailer finish up with that big ass snake, and you're like, oh, they're screwed. They're just.
It's a big ass sea serpent.
Yeah.
Big ass. It was big ass. Whatever the hell it was.
And the kid can somehow understand what he's saying. but he can't. But it's his son. So I'm confused.
Which means there's something got translated that, he got something for mom. Maybe.
I don't know if the Matrix is or not. They just said that they're going to be doing another Matrix movie. That's it. They've kept really quiet on it. It was kind of just said a month or two back, I think, is what I heard. So I don't know. We'll probably find out more maybe later this year, if not next year, something like that. But it's early development. So they haven't even written script, found a director, found actors, nothing. So, but yeah, it was weird when that kid, he heard what he said, and the serpent wanted to help him out.
Help them. That confused Kratos. He was like, what?
Yeah. It's like, huh?
I'm sorry, say that again.
What? You want to what?
I'm used to killing.
Yeah, I was confused on that. I was definitely confused. But I think that was a big twist, not what you would normally see. Yeah, so I'm excited. It comes out early 2018. There's a lot of big games come out early at 2018. Which
the next 9 months are going to be insane for games.
But they did that this year too. March and
bless it.
What end of February, March and April, early April, where huge games came out, and I'm like, what is going on with the beginning of this year? Now it's a lull. I haven't, the only game I picked up was Elder Scrolls Online, and I'm like, what the, what is going on?
So we haven't bought any games recently.
Yeah,
I'm
confused.
I'm sitting there going, what's my next big game?
Yeah.
Where do I go?
Which we move into another big game, which I know you were kind of curious about, because of what they showed a little bit.
Yeah, and I was just kind of watching, and I was like, man, it really reminded me of Infamous in some of the aspects. It really did. I was like, wow.
Yeah.
Just because the way they did it, it was your choices really determine what happens in this game.
This more reminded me of a future Fable.
I never played that one.
Fable was very heavily oriented on your choices make the changes. Same with Mass Effect.
Okay.
Mass Effect the same way.
That one either.
You haven't played any of the Mass
Effects?
Oh. Dude, you're killing me here.
We're about to be with friends. No.
Oh,
Gunrunner
the
DLC?
Gunrunner DLC? Yeah.
That's a long story, but
that's
GTA is on its last run, I think.
I don't know. GTA Online, they can keep going with.
They keep going, but boy, they're starting to talk GTA 6. So
yeah, we won't see GTA 6 till 2020, 2021.
If we're lucky.
Yeah. Probably not later. So, yeah, no, they'll keep putting updates.
Okay.
They'll keep online going as soon as it's still huge.
As long as it quits costing me money to play.
Yeah. I haven't spent a dime since I bought the game twice now. 3 times. 3 times. Yes, 3 times.
I bought it twice.
Yeah. So Detroit Become Human.
Become Human, yeah. We thought it was being human for a second, then we realized, it's Become. It looks pretty cool. Looks pretty cool.
The premises is basically it's androids that have been created as people to. Fable is a good game to.
Just wish it was on PlayStation.
Yeah. Which, unfortunately, a lot of those type of games wish it was on both, but Microsoft owning that, and now who knows where the franchise is at. But other than they're making a card game for it that we saw yesterday during the press conference, said Fable during the brief card game. It wasn't the Gwent one, the Gwent, which is Witcher 3 card game. But yeah,
there was something else, but I don't remember what it was. So, like I said, I've slept since then. So,
but yeah, Detroit Become Human. You're an android. There's multiple choices. We were following in there Marcus, one of the androids, and it was his choice on. They're trying to get rights for humans, so it's kind of like, going back in the day when the blacks were trying to get their rights, or women were trying to get their rights. or a lot of the Spanish, you see the Mexicans, that are coming up here and them trying to get their rights and stuff like that, stuff. And this is androids like, okay, now we're becoming human. We want our rights. We're standing up. We're rising against everyone. We want, we want our rights. So it looks good. It looks beautiful. I forget who originally, I forget the company making it, but they're another big first name party, I believe, for Sony.
I wasn't paying attention at that point. I was like, I was so enthralled in the, I was like, wow, I wasn't really paying attention at that point.
But it's a lot of choices. The first trailer they showed last year, you were a part of the police force, and your choice was, saving this girl that was young girl taken by a, not just, I think it was a kidnapping. I think it was another android that kidnapped her. So I don't know if you're going to do multiple stories. We don't know. There was no release date.
They still didn't give you a release date.
Yeah.
They just, hey, here's the game. Like,
it was a long trailer. Cool. Is basically what it was.
Yeah, very long trailer. Sure.
Then what was next? I know
one of you and I have been slamming on for a little while.
Yeah.
And we're still not sure about.
Yeah.
Destiny 2.
See, that's when you're supposed to joke with people and say Halo 6.
Oh. Halo
because
4.
I'm sorry. It's Halo. It's Halo. It's Halo. It's Halo. It's Halo.
Oh, Halo.
Yeah. I mean, anyways, I'll let you keep talking about it.
Admittedly, there are people that are excited about it. My brother's excited about playing this. You and I have just been, and I think it's, and I've gone back and played, the first Destiny with my brother a little bit. And all right, but it's just, and I'm after everything else, like, I don't know, man. I just don't know.
I don't even have the.
And one of the things you stated almost immediately was, "Oh, hey, it's a brute from Halo." Yep.
Mm-hmm. That guy walking around was he was a brute. He was a brute. I mean, that was.
Is that their response to Halo? Come on.
And then you saw one that looked like a brute, but it also, the way he was walking across, he looked like a grunt to me. And one in part of the trailer, and I'm like,
a brute with wings.
Yeah, it was. It's just,
I don't know.
They're stealing so much from there.
We're not happy.
It is what it is. I would love to see them make a game that separates them from Halo.
Absolutely.
But this drops September 6th. We know it's on all systems, so it's not exclusive or anything like that. Which we'll talk about some of that stuff here in a minute. Some of the jabs that I heard. There is exclusive content though, because they have that deal with them. Just like they have the deal,
there's a whole lot of exclusive stuff too, gear and guns, and
you get the Strike, which is the Lake of Shadows. There's a ship, exotic weapons, and a PvP map.
There's a ton of stuff exclusive.
So
UPS gamers are in there for a little bit.
Mm-hmm. Yes, they get a lot out of it. So I don't know. We'll see. I don't know if it'll be something I'll pick up right away. Probably not.
I'm with you.
The only reason why I picked up the first one right away is because it was made by Bungie. Yeah. I was a big Bungie fan. Yeah. Halo 1, 2, 3, amazing games.
And then what really got you out of that funk of Destiny was
Spider-Man. Spider-Man. I mean, come on.
If it wasn't for the fact he was trying to watch it, he would have been bouncing all over the couch.
Yeah,
he was bouncing all over the couch.
Yeah, I was, and I think I still need to go change my underwear. I mean,
well, you were excited about that.
I am so thrilled, because I love that we get to see a Marvel game that is not only going to be done by Insomniac, which is an amazing developer. I mean, love Ratchet and Clank. They've made great games. Sunset Overdrive, it wasn't my cup of tea in a sense. I never really, it never pulled me in. It was a big hit because a lot of people loved it,
right.
And it got great reviews, but it just wasn't my cup of tea.
What is your
But
what?
what?
Any hooch.
But yeah, this looks beautiful. We
And they did
saw
some gameplay too.
Yeah, it was gameplay. I mean,
Oh, dude, it looked
a lot of gameplay
it
too.
looked good.
At least we thought it was gameplay. I
Well,
mean,
they said it was gameplay. Yeah, they really making a new Saints Row.
yeah. The developer moved on to another game in what is it? Violation, whatever the
I don't even remember at this point.
Volition or whatever it is. They moved on to another game that's in the Saints Row universe.
It is Volition that makes it.
Volition.
Yes, you're right. Very
Yes.
right. Yeah, Volition.
But yeah, I forget the name of it. But they're making another one that's in that actual universe. So, which is interesting, and who knows if it'll actually tie in at any point or what. But we'll see. But yeah, Spider-Man looks beautiful.
What we believe was gameplay.
Yeah.
They're saying it's
Yeah.
again trailer thing. So we'll find out.
They never said actual in-game footage. Yeah. So you never know with that, but it looked like it, and it looks gorgeous. And Spider-Man, whoever's playing him, sounded great. He was great for Spider-Man. The rest of everything in it was it was great. I mean, you get to all kinds of different powers and all kinds of fun stuff. An environment that is not just destructible, but very useful.
Yeah, you're able to use your environment to your advantage.
Yes.
They show that a couple times. You're like, dude, wow.
Yes, I mean, so
you just have to be aware of aware of your surroundings.
Yeah, but
that looks cool.
You know what it reminded me of when he was fighting the enemies? Prototype.
I don't know if I ever played that one.
Prototype 1 and 2. I think maybe it was PS4 that it was a free download for one of the games. I
never had PS4, so
no. Well, what I'm saying is I don't think it was Xbox that had for the free games that they do each month. I think it was PS4, but I played both of them. Freaking incredible games. You're building up this character that can be good or evil, in a sense, but you get different powers. But just the fighting felt really like that.
Well, sure.
I mean, it definitely, yeah. Yeah, I can't say enough about it. I am so excited. Unfortunately, it doesn't come out till 2018.
Which, again, it was a low, a high, and a low.
Yeah, exactly. But they finished on a high.
They really did.
Miles Morales is in it. I mean, Miles Morales is probably the biggest up-and-coming version of Spider-Man that we see a lot of. He's huge, getting huge in the comics. He's going to be the star of Sony's animated Spider-Man movie coming out next November. So they're doing a full-blown...
And they snuck it in, too.
Yes. You didn't expect it. You thought everything was done.
Everything was done. They're like, oh, hey. You're like, oh, whoa, hello.
And you see this guy, like, he's just taking pictures. And at first, I kind of thought, I was like, what is that, Peter? Is it Peter Parker? It's I literally flipped out. I'm like, what?
Fell off the couch.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, no, I'm excited. I cannot wait. I cannot wait.
Yeah.
Quick before we finish up, there's a couple of notables that they did not show. 3 big games. One, no Gran Turismo Sport.
None.
Which really confuses me because there was an event I went to last year, and I got hands-on with Gran Turismo Sport. I was playing it. So I'm really confused on why there was nothing there for it.
Yeah, especially after Xbox broke out Forza 7.
Yeah. I mean, if they want to keep making Gran Turismos, they have to start figuring out something and coming out with them a little more often, because Forza's got the beating on cars. They've got the actual car damage. Then they've got the arcade style game with Forza Horizon that they come out with. They've got them on every aspect. So I don't know. I'm confused. I am so confused. I don't know why. The next one, I'll look at the comment in a second, but the next one up is Last of Us 2, which I'm okay with. I'm fine with them not showing it because it's made by Naughty Dog. They're coming out with Uncharted, Lost Legacy in August. Let's wait. We will see
Take your
Last
time
of
on that
Us.
one.
We'll see it probably during the PlayStation Experience in December that they hold, which is
Good
usually
deal.
the week before the Video Game Awards, I think, or same weekend maybe, same weekend actually. So, but yeah, right around my birthday. Happy birthday to me.
Happy birthday. Oh, I'll stop.
Wrong thing. No. But yeah, so that wasn't there. That was expected. A lot of people. I mean, we were watching the pre show, on IGN, and they expected it too. So hey, it is what it is.
Yeah. I
Um,
expected something, and you're like, okay.
yeah. The next one up, the other one was Knack 2.
Was what?
Knack 2.
Not
Knack was an original game that came out with the PlayStation 4. It's a platformer. They were trying to make it their new mascot in a sense. The concept was great. I didn't enjoy the gameplay. It got a little old after a while, a little stale. But you're this little character that you can literally transform yourself into this bigger character with, special powers and everything. I didn't play enough of it because I just kind of lost interest real quick.
Right.
But they released before, during the pre-show on IGN, they mentioned about which I think was right before you came. That's what she said.
I wasn't even breathing hard.
Wow. Anyways, but yeah, right before the pre-show, I think it's coming out it's August or September. But it kind of surprised me that they didn't show anything for
Nothing
it.
on it.
Yeah, and what's weird with these is Sony doesn't go to the Gamescom in Germany, but they have the Tokyo Game Show. But that's, I think, after the fact, I believe. I think Tokyo Game Show's later on in the year. Gamescom is usually August, I think, I believe. Microsoft has a big presence there, but, so yeah, those were the three. I mean, that I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what they go.
I believe that's TWO.
Whoops. So that's it.
I believe. Don't hold me to it, though.
That's it for the press conference. That was it.
That was everything.
Right now, that's my favorite of, hands down, of the whole entire press conference, all the press conferences they've shown. We haven't seen Nintendo yet, but Nintendo does a Nintendo Direct.
They really don't do a press conference per se.
They do their online thing with Nintendo Direct. Yes, this was nonstop, one after another, big game after big game. Like we said, they didn't focus on the indie games, which I'm fine with. Let the indie games have their own limelight at different times, stuff like that. PAX is really big for that.
Game to game to game to game. The guy came out twice, and that was it. It was boop, 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 boop.
Get your system sellers out there. You get the point. But they got their system sellers out there, the ones that are going to sell the system. That's what they worried about, and I'm fine with it.
And they did a good job with that. They did a good job with that.
Yeah, I think of it though, they didn't have a single. Did they have a single Ubisoft game? No. That's unusual for them.
I think you're right, actually.
Yeah, because it was all with Ubisoft's press conference and also the Xbox one, where they officially unveiled Origins. Huh. Interesting. So, anyways, hopefully you enjoyed this. If you are watching Facebook, appreciate it. Thank you for tuning in.
Thanks, kids. We love you. No, we don't.
Tune in Saturday, hopefully. If you're coming, you don't have other plans, do you?
We'll chit-chat about that.
Yeah, so we'll figure it out. So, because remember, we're going over the other press conferences and all that.
True.
We got everything else from Ubisoft to talk about Digital Devolver, or Devolver Digital. I got it backwards again. Dun, dun, dun. Also EA's. We have the PC and then the Nintendo one. So we'll discuss all those.
It's a busy week, kids.
Yes.
It's a busy week.
I got pages upon pages of notes. So,
hey, I actually took notes this time.
He was prepared. He brought his inner Boy Scout out.
Oh no, I wasn't prepared. But good old Allison hooked me up.
So yeah, tune in this weekend. We will be diving into the rest of the games that were talked about and being released. If you're on YouTube, please hit that like and follow down below. Also the little bell, which will show you when everything goes live. Yeah, that's what we're here for. That's why we do it on Facebook. Interactivity.
Interactivity,
You know?
absolutely.
Now,
That's half the fun of it.
Now, I will say the one thing that we're trying to focus on. We definitely will answer as we're going, but also we will, hold more questions towards the end.
The questions till the end.
Yeah, we'll be taking more questions at the end once we get through all the main stuff. So we're not jumping around because we don't want to confuse you with everything. I mean, we'll definitely
we're easily confused as it is.
Yeah, exactly. So, but yeah, tune in. We don't have a set schedule yet for this, but we will.
We're working on it.
I've got my game spirit back. It's back. So
I never lost mine.
Unfortunately, the sacrifice of other things, but my game spirit's back. And this is going to be a lot of my main focus for this channel. So, but I won't get into all that. So, but yeah, like I was saying, YouTube, please hit that follow, the little bell that will let you know on the notifications. If you're on Facebook here, please go check out my YouTube channel, Nerdology 5280. I do, right now I have mostly unboxings and my Cherry on Pop episode every week, every Monday now. So that released tonight. So,
and every once in a while, I get this cute girl to join them.
Yeah, I know. She kind of makes a video when she comes in, so that's huge. Huge. But yeah, please go over, check that out. Also, if you want, you can join my Facebook group. It's closed group, but I'm trying to get conversations going there and people asking questions and stuff where we can dive more into after we're not recording and everything. Keep the interactivity going.
Absolutely. Definitely. Ask questions as they hit your little brain.
So, but yeah, that's under the groups, Nerdology 5280. I let everyone join. There, you'll see the rules posted. So you break the rules, warning, and then peace.
You break the rules.
Yeah.
There'll be some breaking. Yeah. Anyway, we gotta go.
So go check out Twitter, Instagram, all under Nerdology 5280. Dale just looks at Twitter.
Some of my stuff. I'm still trying to get more active in it. So please be patient.
He looks at it and he's like, "Ooh, look at the pretty birdie.
Pretty bird.
Pretty bird." But yes, please go check out the rest of that stuff. But as I like to always say at the end of everything, please don't forget to unleash your inner nerd as I hit my microphone.
Beat it
and we will see you this weekend.
Yep.
Peace.